Well, I wasn't planning on doing this today, but when somebody asks you for pictures of a pilot in your helicopter, just, the size, I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. I go in and like, oh, I got to turn the lights on. And this is what the helicopter looks like now. Everything is torn apart. The pilot's out, the windscreen's out, the dash is out. You can see all my lead, like where it's not supposed to be. Here's the dash. So the initial problem was I was doing pictures of the pilot inside here. And I was like, oh, we need to turn on the dash lights. Turn on all of my lights off of my controller, and all the other lights work, but not the dash lights. I was like, what the hell? So I'm like, okay, start testing. Start from here. See that there's a plug that's undone. So plug it in, still doesn't work. And then I go, okay, well, let's make sure that these wires actually go there. Yep. Okay, so go to take the dash out. Well, can't take the dash out unless the windscreen's off. So take the pilot out, take the windscreen off, then I can take the dash out, come back here, plug it in right into the thing, into my controller, still doesn't work. What the hell? Then I come in here, and this is the stock Roban dash for the lights. And there is the little controller in there. So I get this all up, plug it in straight into the controller. Still no works. Now, mind you, this thing worked the last time I did it. There was lights. Okay. Go to unplug the LEDs that are up in the dash and pull them out and plug it straight in. Still doesn't work. We'll come to find out that these lights that are up in here, I was testing the voltage, making sure I had voltage to the plug. Then voltage on the other side of the plug to this point. Measure it here, 5 volts. Measure it here, 12 volts. I'm like, holy shit. So this is a little converter that converts 5 volts into 12 volts. And I'm like, okay, so this little LED strip is a 12 volt strip. Sure enough, I have another one back and on the other side, and it's written right on there, 12 volts. Okay, so I'm looking down in there, and with the dash on, you couldn't see it because it is actually, the LED strip sits right on those two little pads back there, and when the whole dash is together, covering everything up, you can't see it, and you can't see it from in here. But the one thing I did notice was that one of the wires was able to move around a whole lot more than the other one. So I'm like, oh, crap. And sure enough, one of the wires had come undone from the LED strip itself. So take the dash part. Take it apart very carefully because you've got to take this part off first. Then there's this part that's in there. Then the LEDs are down in there. And so then you can finally get it and actually solder it correctly and get it all in. My day for taking pictures of a 10-inch Warbirds pilot in a Roban Bell 407 led me to this situation. Crap, now I got to put it all back together. I would say get out and build something, but get out and repair something. Ugh. Hot glue the wires onto the end like it was before. Hot glue back in the lead shot I need for balancing the nose of the helicopter. Then glue on the dash cover. And while I got this open, I noticed that my pilot really had to reach way down. So a little bit of heat right in this spot and kind of melt it up and raise it up a little bit for her. Raise it up probably about maybe 1/4 inch. You can see where I heated it up. Set it on fire. No big deal. A little bit of spit, cool it off into position. We're all good. Stuff the rat's nest of wires back in there where nobody's going to see it. Screw the dash back in to the floor. If you're in the process of putting together a 407, I didn't glue my dash down. I actually used these little clips down there where I could take this out, and thank God I did because I needed to take it out this time to fix the lights. So before you glue all this shit in, take a little piece of brass, angle something on there, put a couple screws in there, and then put it in. That even holds that's probably 4 or 5 ounces of lead shot in the dash part where you saw me glue it in before. So yeah, it holds. Makes it real easy to put the Pilot back in here. But he's got kind of short legs. It doesn't really reach the pedals. But his torso is the correct height for in here. Actually, the torso is just a little tall, but that could be because maybe the seats are not at the right height. But anyway, it's a lot easier to do this without the windscreen on. And since I bent that up, he's not really leaning. He used to lean right up against this spot right here, and he looked kind of cockeyed in there. Now that I've raised that up, it's not pulling him down, and it's kind of in a natural position. It's kind of cool. And while you have the windscreen out, take this opportunity to clean it really good on the inside. And take the opportunity to clean in all the crevices that you can't reach whenever you don't have the windscreen off. In all these little tiny pieces and in all these little tiny places, and it's mainly the seam where the windscreen sits. Yeah, get in there and clean that dust out. Happy little dust. Just get that cleaned out. Thanks, Bob Ross. Screw, screw. Take out the wrong screw. Put in the right screw where it's supposed to be. Screw, 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 screw. And finally, screw. Clean, clean. Because I don't normally get underneath there, and you can see all the dirt that's underneath there. There we go. Put the back half on. Screw, 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 and finally, screw. And there we go. All put back together. All the lights work. Everything is put back on, and I'm not missing any screws, and I don't have any screws left over. So, I guess that was a successful, unplanned fix for the Roban Bell 407. All right, get out and build something now.